Greetings to you all. Brother Beanie coming at you from Jonesboro, Arkansas. My face is getting too round. I was telling Sister Julie this week, got to lose some weight in the face. I don't like having a round face. A round face might work good for you, but it doesn't work for me. I like it better when I have some curvature. It's funny, just recently Sister Julie was telling me how some people, especially women, they have teeth removed at the back of their mouths, so it'll affect their jaw. They want to get a specific look, so they have teeth removed. Can you believe that? What a sad world it is to know that so many people are not happy with the way they look, and so, with the way God made them. So they have to do something to change it, especially plastic surgery. You might ask me, hey, brother, what's your opinion on plastic surgery? Well, I'll say this to you. I think plastic surgery is only necessary when you get into an accident or something bad happens to destroy your looks. An unforeseen circumstance such as that. Just getting plastic surgery for the sake of vanity to make yourself look like a certain way, I believe God wouldn't want you to do that. I think that would hurt his feelings. I'm not going to say what the TV show was. It was a very sinful TV show. It was a sitcom I used to watch back in my drinking days. Some of you might know what it was, but a woman on the show asked another woman, which doctor, this is in Hollywood, in LA, Malibu to be exact. And the woman asked, the younger girl had a not really nice nose. And so the older lady asked her, which doctor do you go to? She said, none. And then the woman said, oh. And then she says, sometimes God does good work too. Of course God does good work. And I'm not going to get into the whole message on the makeup thing and surgery and all that stuff. The point is, God made you the way he chose for a reason. Now you might say, what about birth defects and problems? Well, God didn't make us to have birth defects and all that stuff. And I know I might be opening another can of worms to go down another rabbit trail, and I don't mean to do that. You have to remember we live in a fallen world, a fallen, sinful world, and because of that, DNA gets corrupted and genetics and all that stuff. That's the reason why, because of sin. That's the bottom line. So does God make a person mentally challenged? He doesn't make them that way. That comes through the development of the fetus. If it happens, God allowed it for a reason. But I assure you, to take this to the bank, I myself am a father to a son who is mildly autistic. So you guys, if you watch my videos for years, I'll wear those Be Kind shirts. It's autism awareness. I support parents who have autistic children. It can be a challenge. I understand that. And just know that God has a very special place in heaven and in his heart for children who have autism. Now you're saying, wait a minute, I thought children and nobody's sick in heaven, no problems. No, there are no problems, but I believe that children who have that issue, who have gone home to be with the Lord, I believe that he keeps a lot of them in the same area with each other. I could be wrong, I've heard stories of that, but I do know that mentally challenged people, autistic people, people with disabilities like that, they are very special to the Lord. And he loves them dearly. And I've been told this by the Lord himself. God says sometimes a child that's born with those issues or develops those issues later for whatever reasons, he said that's their saving grace. So take from that what you will. And who knows, or who knew, only God knew that I was going to get into all that stuff while doing this video. But, getting back to it, vanity. A lot of stuff we do, it's just a lot of the things we buy for ourselves, for our appearances, to change our appearance and do all that stuff, a lot of it's just vanity. And I've been vain before, not extremely, but a little bit. And I have a video on that I did in Kentucky years ago. Okay, August the 26th. We're almost done this thing for August. This is called Faith in Which Jesus. You might say, well, the Jesus, right? Well, some people believe in another Jesus. They believe in a Jesus that doesn't manifest his power today. That's not the Jesus I believe in. It's not the Jesus I serve. Turn to Psalm 119. It's the longest psalm in the Bible. And no, we're not going to read it all because we'll be here forever. I want to read from verse 137, which is listed here. And then we'll go all the way down to verse 152. We'll just do some reading in Psalm 119. But verses 37 and 38 in Psalm 119 say this: Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are thy judgments. Thy testimonies that thou hast commanded are righteous and very faithful. Okay, very good. Let's do this. Shouts out to Brother Jimmy, Brother Benjamin, Grayson, Charlie, Melvin, Don, Mickey, Jeff, Brother Stephen, Brother James, anybody else? All the sisters, of which there are many: Sister Joyce, Faye, Harmony, Virginia, all the Debbies, all the Lisas, all the Sharons, Kara, Tabitha, and everybody else. To my mother too. God bless. Verse 137 in Psalm 119 says, You are righteous, O Lord, and upright are your judgments. You have set your testimonies in righteousness and faithfulness. My zeal has consumed me because my enemies have forgotten your words. Your word is pure and true. Therefore your servant loves it. I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is true. Trouble and anguish have discovered me, but your commandments are my delight. The righteousness of your testimonies is everlasting. Grant me understanding, and I shall live. I cried with my whole heart. Hear me, O Lord. I will keep your statutes, which means your laws, your commandments. I cried unto you, deliver me, and I shall keep your testimonies. I arose before the dawn of the morning and cried for help. I hope in your words. My eyes are awake before the night watches, that I might meditate on your word. Hear my voice according to your loving kindness, O Lord. Revive me according to your judgment. They draw close, those who persecute me with evil. They are far from your law. But you are near, O Lord, and all your commandments are true. I have known of old that you have established your testimonies forever. Okay. And again, this is called faith in which Jesus. Tozer says, to manipulate the scriptures so as to make them excuse us, compliment us, and console us is to do despite to the written word and to reject the living word. To believe savingly in Jesus Christ is to believe all he has said about himself and all that the prophets and apostles have said about him. Let us beware that the Jesus we accept is not one we have created out of the dust of our imagination and formed after our own likeness. And that is true. There are people who believe in a Jesus who they have created. It's not the Jesus of the Bible, only by name. True faith commits us to obedience. We have received grace and apostleship, says Paul, for obedience to the faith among all nations, for his name. Romans 1:5. That dreamy, sentimental faith which ignores the judgments of God against us and listens to the affirmations of the soul is as deadly as cyanide. That faith which passively accepts all the pleasant texts of the Scriptures while it overlooks or rejects the stern warnings and commandments of those same Scriptures is not the faith of which Christ and his apostles spoke. I think that's pretty straightforward. Faith is simply that which takes hold of the promise and the fullness of Christ. You're not going to find me trying to manipulate the Bible. You're not going to find me twisting the Bible verses. You're not going to find me developing my own Jesus to suit my needs. That's not how it works. The Bible tells us the character of God, that's who he is. We can't twist it. We can't make him up into something he's really not. Because we're going to face him one day, and we're going to give account of everything we say and everything we do. Are you ready for that? God bless you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next Tozer Devotional.